Hi, Miss Dani here again to talk to you about something that I feel like I could talk about all day. So if you go and you look out your window, some of you may be glancing outside your window, outside your front door, and you look up into the trees. What do you see on the trees this time of year? Yes, you probably see leaves. Now, not everybody's leaves change color the way mine do where I live. Some of them change color sooner, some of them change color later, and some leaves don't change color at all. Some people's stay pretty much the same. So I'm thinking, what do we know about leaves? My friends might be telling me a whole bunch of different things, but one thing about leaves is they start with the letter L. So you can show me with your thumb and your finger, L. And when we make the sound for letter L, we have to get our tongue behind our teeth. Oh, leaf. Say it with me. Leaf. And if we have more than one leaf, then we say leaves. You try it with Miss Dani. Leaves. Good. Okay, I'm going to stick my L up here. And you know what? You can look for letters everywhere. I found this off a tag. So I have L for large that just happened to be around, and I thought I would use that just to remind you we can find letters all over the place. So one thing about leaves are that they start with L. Another thing is that one leaf is a leaf, and two or more leaves, we say leaves. And another thing is that we often see the leaves change in the fall. And fall is the season that I call it, but some people might call them autumn, might call the season autumn. And that's not right or wrong. We can call it fall or we can call it autumn. But for here, Miss Dani's calling it fall because it has two L's at the end of it. Okay, so back to what do we know about leaves? If you think about the tree out in your yard, or if you took a walk to the park or a drive down the road, what kind of leaves would you see? You would quickly figure out that some leaves can be big. This one was just at a block over near my house. And this leaf, look at this leaf compared to Miss Dani's head. I would say this is a big leaf. And some leaves can be small. Yeah. This one right outside my house, this leaf is small. And then a lot of leaves could be medium or in between. They're not super huge, not super small, but in between. So if leaves can be big or little, how else could we describe them? So how would you tell mom or dad, what do the leaves look like? Somebody is surely telling me the color, Miss Dani, the color. So I want you to think in your head, what color are the leaves outside your house? This leaf, this one's pretty large, kind of about the size of my head. This leaf is, say it with me, yellow. This leaf is yellow. My big leaf was brown. Say it one more time. Brown. Very good. Somebody might be saying, Miss Dani, my leaves at my house are still green. Just kind of like my sweater. This leaf is green. And some leaves are more red, but some leaves can be such a deep red that instead of red, they're almost a type of purple. I would say this one is more red, and this is like magenta or purple, just so many different colors. And I was looking for one that was clearly orange, and I couldn't find that one that was super duper. I would say this is orange, and this is as close as I could find it. But it's super fun because some of the leaves, if you go for a walk outside your house and you are looking, some of the leaves have yellow and orange and red and brown. Those are my favorite leaves. Miss Dani loves the one with all the colors on them. So we've talked about their size and we've talked about their color. I didn't talk a ton about their shape because they're not a really super, I wouldn't say this is necessarily an oval, although that might be the closest shape I could come up with. Some might be This one we could almost say is a little bit like a diamond shape or a rhombus if we're getting technical. Some leaves are more round. There's just a lot of different sizes. So I was trying to think if I knew a little finger play for leaves, and I couldn't think of one, but the thing is, you can make up your own. We can just make up our own thinking about leaves and what we know about them. So I want you to get out 5 fingers and show me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to say 5 little leaves right outside your door. One of them floats down to the ground, and then there were 4. Can you do that? Tuck your thumb in and show me 4. 4 little leaves still up in the tree. One flutters to the ground, and then there were 3. Some of my friends might be doing 3 like this. Some of my friends might tuck these 2 and do it like this, and some might just be listening. 3 little leaves stuck in the tree, but not with glue. One flutters to the ground, and then there were 2. You get 2 fingers, might help if you pin those ones down. 2 bright fall leaves swinging in the sun. One flutters to the ground. Now there's only 1. Okay, show me 1 finger. 1 little leaf not having any fun. He flutters to the ground, and now there are none. Or 0 leaves. So that is just me walking around the neighborhood and thinking, how am I going to find a finger play or something where you can imitate? Because I want you to do it with Miss Dani. When we sing a song or do a finger play, I want you to do it with me. So another thing that parents can do with kids is help them use leaves to do sorting. Leaves are free. They can be found in a lot of different places, neighborhoods or parks. And so it would be fun to sort the leaves if you have, put your big ones in a pile. One of my favorite memories as a kid is my parents taking my brother and I to the park and raking big leaves like this into a pile and running and jumping, and super fun and something your kids will remember once they are grown-ups. And then I might make a pile and sort them into small, medium, and large. And that's not tricky to do, but something you might do together. Another thing parents might enjoy doing with kids is leaf rubbings. So I've just taped this to a hard surface, and then I peeled the crayon like this. Many of you may have done this when you were younger. And then kind of pinch, just like when we write, we pinch like a crab. Pinch and then push down with the leaf taped under, and you will get the shape of your leaf. I'm trying to do that, trying to push hard enough that everybody can see. The harder you push, the more your leaf rubbing will come through. And that is just kind of fun because you see each tiny little piece of the leaves. I could have probably picked a color that was more fun than brown, but this crayon was already ready to go. So there you have it. Okay, I thought it would be really fun to ask families to let me know if you do any of these activities with your kids. So my email is missdaniislearning@gmail.com, and I'll link that in the description below. And then I will also link the description for another fall theme. Sometimes I already did a video talking about pumpkins, so I can link my pumpkin video down below. And then also I did one about my friend the spider. So just kind of fun to reference those, and I hope you'll let me know if you... Oh, I had one more thing about leaves, sort of about leaves. Thinking of the leaves, where do we find leaves? Somebody's telling me, in the tree, in the tree. And what else do we see in the tree? So some places, depending on where you live, you may find pine cones in the tree. And I could share a lot of pine cone crafts, but for this purpose, we also sometimes, I like to go to the park and feed. Who do you think I like to feed? So I've got some peanuts here in their shells, and somebody comes along and cracks these peanuts open. It starts with an S. Here it is. Do you know what he's called? This guy is a squirrel, and squirrel is kind of a tricky word to say, but Miss Dani loves the squirrels. I love to feed them peanuts. Sometimes they'll take them right out of your hand if you find them at the park. And so just thinking about the leaves and the trees that I love so much, I thought about the squirrels. So I hope you're able to find some time to go outside and collect the leaves and let me know what you do with them or what your favorite thing to do with leaves is. All right. Have a fantastic fall day.